DM. So, what's your character's backstory? Bard. Well, early life, career before music, success as a children's entertainer, feud with Nickelodeon, arson, manhunt and imprisonment. Hey, what's up, it's SkyDieRay here, welcome to another DnDMemes video. How are you guys doing? Having a wonderful day today. Before jumping into it, I want to quickly kindly ask you if you want to take a moment to smash the like button. It takes a second and helps out a lot, so thank you so much for that. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoy. Some of you are wild. How to deal with a player like this? He folds his character sheet and opens it like a sandwich. He wears jeans with flip-flops. Whenever he rolls dice, he says it's Morbin time. Every single time. Whenever he takes a good quote-unquote turn in combat, he refers to himself in the third person. He uses a watermelon-scented deodorant that is a lot stronger than he thinks it is. Whenever he casts Counterspell, he will turn his hat backwards and say, "It's time." He quotes the player's handbook in an offensive Italian accent. He visibly licks his teeth when someone attacks him in combat. He won't stop saying, "Tasha is bae." Whenever we encounter a female NPC, he will say, "Oh, that's a waifu." He refers to unearthed arcana as forbidden strats. The DM won't do anything about him because he isn't technically doing anything wrong, but as you can see, he is the single most unbearable human being to ever exist. I feel like this might be just a tiny little bit of an exaggeration here. After all this time, I still don't know what happened with it. Repost classic meme. Completely f***ed myself in the D&D game that I run by doing a flashback series to the founding of the city and setting, and accidentally including a mountain that doesn't exist in the present day. One of the players said, "I'm excited to find out what happens to the mountain." Me too, buddy. Guys, I've only been here for 6 months, please don't go. Me, finding out that the sub is going to permanently shut down. See how the heart is all nice and chopped up? Oh god, yeah. We'll see if this is the, well, not the last one because I have material for the next episode as well already, but we'll see if there will be any videos after that one. Even the green text, I don't have anything prepared because, you know, the subreddit is down. Disarming an adventuring party is an absolute nightmare. You're honestly better off just letting these demigods keep their knife collection. You're a city guard tasked with disarming adventurers. The monk has absolutely nothing on his person. The wizard hands you his spellbook but needs his walking cane for his limp. The rogue hands you hundreds of cursed daggers. You're pretty sure he still has some hidden on him. And that's all I have to say about that. DM. So what's your character's backstory? Bard. Well, early life, career before music, success as a children's entertainer, feud with Nickelodeon, arson, manhunt and imprisonment. Ill matter. God of ruining the lives of child abusers. Hello child, I see you might be the target of abuse. Yes, every day. Would you like to temporarily become the avatar of a god? Stealing from the baddies is okay. You can always steal from Wizards of the Coast. It's always morally correct. They hired f***ing Pinkertons. They had to remove the band-aid at some point. Sure, most of it is renaming and redesigning. Sans Rao, they got snapped. But it does sting. Did you finally do it? Did you break free from Wizards OGL? Yes. What did it cost? Everything. Flat-footed Drow spell schools, ability scores, chromatic and metallic dragons, alignments, spell levels, Svirnoblin and deep dwarves, Tiamat, Tieflings and Asimar, and magic missile and magic weapon. Alright, that's a couple of things. Shall we ignite the battle of ability versus modifier once more? Things today that will always start a fight. How do you fill out your character sheet? With the value on top and modifier on the bottom, or the other way around? I honestly, personally, prefer the first one, the one on the left, with the +5 below the 20. But I mean, it's really not relevant, it's just something, you know, personal opinion. How is that even an argument? I'm the dumbest man alive. If the hero kills the villain, they're just as bad as the villain. You are clearly dumber. Rules are rules. RP generations. Strict city rules. No weapons allowed. No exceptions for you, monk. Go ahead, disarm me. Okay, don't worry, the guard said the city will pay for a regenerate spell as soon as we leave. By the way, I hid a few weapons in the wheelchair. Jesus Christ, monk doesn't look happy. Also I can tell if this is just a random coincidence or a response to the previous meme about, you know, weapons getting confiscated. It's not like the first session of our campaign is tonight or anything. I am once again asking for your character sheet. Please send it before the session. mods have temporarily lifted the rules on retired topics and some old reposts. Snitties, yes, I remember. Oh no, not the snitties again. There was actually a meme with the snitties. This one explains it. I just deleted that one because, you know, it was shown on the channel at least 2 times before, I think. You see a lot of wizards claiming they can defeat a fighter in a 1v1. Strangely, none of them actually try. When the wizard tries to plane shift the fighter, but misses the spell attack. Fighter to the wizard. Do you have any idea how you are? Oh, they know. They do know. Bards and barbarians everywhere have dragon anxiety. If I roll a natural 20, I'll succeed, right? Optimistic. Wrong though. I love the physically ripping past the impenetrable barrier trope. The damaged big bad evil guy caster after downing the casters and hiding behind their prismatic wall to recover. The party's marshal fueled by nothing but sheer rage, the desire to avenge their allies, rule of cool, and a really good roll. Yeah fam, can't imagine what that's like. Player creates their deception roll and talks their way past the city guard immediately. Player. Oh man, I had this whole elaborate cover story cooked up in case they asked any questions, and now I don't get to use any of it. GM, whose session prep has been undermined by players' shenanigans every week for the last 18 months. That's rough, buddy. Oh yeah, I can't imagine what you go through. Stop nerfing me. Due to recent developments in the API discussion, the sub is going on black. I have dark vision, I can see in the blackout. Even if it's magical, I can see it. Stop nerfing me. I see your point, I see everything, I have dark vision. I maybe overdid the house rule stuff a little. When you made so many house rules in your campaign that you need to print your own rule books for your players. Books of house rules, I suppose that says in German, maybe, I don't know, for Remy, Judith, Ajani, Tomar and Vivi. Confidence while ignorant. A natural 20 with plus 10 on the Arcana check, and your character is confident that they know nothing about this, says the DM. I was mad about it 2 years ago, I am mad about it now. DM. No, I'm not allowing you to make potions of healing during your downtime. I have expertise in survival. I'm proficient with alchemist supplies and herbalism kits. We've crafted other gear in our downtime. I know the spell Cure Wounds. I have a beast companion that can help me find ingredients, and also the player's handbook page 153, the DMG 128 and 129, and Xanatar's guides page 130. You can cross-reference that, I suppose, if you have the books on hand. Kung Fu Girl and Shooty Bang Bang Boy getting constantly blamed for being bad classes. Monks and Rangers. Both constantly taking for being the worst classes in 5th edition. Yeah, it's totally original, guys. Me, looking for things to put in my campaign, and a book series that I stumble upon while at Barnes & Noble. Just making a campaign from an already existing, you know, universe that was created by someone else for a book series. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, by the way. It sounds like a great idea, actually. If you don't want to, you know, if you don't want to make your own world or something. You can even take one and customize it, so whatever. Stranded, Colder God. When the DM's homebrew names tend to have real-world influences, should we tell them that their god is a 20th century car rental company? Werewolves and fall damage. A monster is immune to damage from non-magical bludgeoning weapons. Does it still take damage from falling? Yes, that monster is still going to feel the hurt of the fall. You see, immunity to non-magical damage doesn't prevent fall damage. I reject the authority of this court. Honor is dead, but I think a few PCs will be too after this fight. So for the final fight with the campaign against the big bad evil guy, we'll treat hit points as dodge points, and when you run out, that's when you'll get hit. As the big bad evil guy holds out his hand, a sword forming from mist falls into his hand. The nearly 6-foot long blade glistens with frost and condensation. The realization. What could go wrong? When the big bad evil guy summons Tiamat, so your party decides to summon Bahamut. Let them fight. It's not a railroad, it's a big long twisty noodle. An incredible shifting labyrinth of puzzles and traps, and you know, the players admiring that, and moving the encounter that they skipped to the next room over and over. New crafting video soon, everyone. I got some #Magic the Gathering cards to turn into tokens for D&D. Oh god, it's okay. That hurts. I mean, it's a joke, right? It still hurts. Careful not to metagame just because you know the horse failed its death saves. I try to use heat metal on the bones of enemies since calcium is a metal. DM allows it. Rust monsters rust away my bones the next combat. What's the weirdest magic item your group has ever had in your party? Other D&D groups, magic items. Normal, sensible, with maybe a +2 bonus. My D&D group, juice that makes your head explode. Well, it's a magic item, alright. Not sure about the use cases, but it is definitely a magic item. Playable character class art across the editions. Last and least, hit point wise, the Wizard. D&D's aesthetic across the years. The Wizard. First edition, dynamic and epic, perfect book cover, but makes the illustrations inside look rough in comparison. Second edition, this might be the most basic Wizard illustration ever. Third edition, I can appreciate that they didn't go for the basic Wizard look, but I didn't expect them to go full Ranger. Fourth edition, looks like a sorcerer who insists he doesn't have a drinking problem. And fifth edition, I always love the powerful wizard pretending to be weak and elderly aesthetic. Bard something something. Pathfinder pointing to D&D. This MF has no size calculation mechanics. Yeah, absolutely the inferior game system because of that. I mean, that's reason enough for you to play Pathfinder, right? Every time people try to fix 5th edition. 0 days without reinventing 3.5 or 4th edition. Nothing is unkillable. Unkillable quote-unquote 24 AC Bladesinger, and the Barbarian with a natural 20 and 3d8 plus 10 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, unkillable was definitely not the right word there. The weekly roll, chapter 141. Ouchies. Easy there, Sir Beckett. I'm not sure what you think you know, but I'll give you anything you want. I want my arm back, you son of a... Get up. Please? A Bard story. Bard. I seduce the dragon. Make a persuasion check. 61? That's on me. I set the DC too low. Jesus Christ, how do you even get a roll of 61? Tiefling art across the editions. First edition doesn't have Tieflings yet, so here's a picture of a second edition Tiefling that is golf goals. Second edition. I love everything about this illustration. There's a story going on and I want to know it. Third edition. She's on tonight because her hips don't lie and she's starting to feel it's right. Fourth edition. Guys, we're part devil. Isn't that so edgy and cool? So dark, am I right guys? 5th edition. Their skin tones cover the full range of human coloration, but also include various shades of red. Anyway, here's a picture of one with purple skin. 5th edition's player's handbook. Quote from that. Druids have so many fire spells for controlled burns, obviously. The druids that my players expect. I'm not letting any cute bunnies get eaten. No, you have to respect the circle of life. The druids that I'm planning. Because the deer are eating all the plants, the ground is loose and is likely to cause landslides. I suggest that we drop deer-eating predators into the woods to stop this. Yeah, no, I mean, makes sense, kinda. Keeping the balance of nature in check by, you know, doing what's needed to do to keep that balance. Honestly, kinda sounds like what a druid would do, realistically speaking, as realistically as you could put that, I guess. Alright, on that note, that's been it for today's video, so thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you don't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting on Patreon as well as in the budget list for those links below if you want to check them out, as well as links to the social media, Starbucks, Discord, and everything else. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.